Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic of function, that is call by value and call by reference. So this is like people get confused about what exactly is call by value and call by reference, and also many times they do ask that whether Java supports call by value or call by reference. So this is a way in which parameters are being passed to function. So as we had already seen in our previous videos that there are two types of parameters. One is actual parameter and another is formal parameter. So when we are talking of call by value and call by reference, it talks about how these parameters are passed from actual like how the values are being passed from actual parameter to formal parameter. So let's talk about a scenario wherein a teacher is giving her notes to students for reference. So if this particular teacher is giving notes to the students, her original notes if she is giving to the students, and if the student makes changes in those notes, then her original notes are like distorted and like she is not going to get her original notes back. So if the student is scribbling the notes or making changes to her notes, or if the student loses the note somehow, the teacher is not going to have a copy of it, and the teacher is going to be at loss forever. So that is one problem that could be there when we are talking of call by reference. So this is a scenario wherein this teacher is giving her original notes to the students for reference, and the student is making changes in the notes, and that is permanently disturbing her notes. So this is the scenario in call by reference. But there is one more scenario wherein we call it as call by value. So in case of call by value, the teacher is giving a Xerox of her notes to the student. So when the teacher is giving Xerox of her notes, any changes the student makes to the notes would be made to the Xerox copy of the notes, and the original notes of teacher would remain with her as it is. So this is what exactly happens when we are working with call by value and call by reference. So in case of call by value, the value of actual parameter is being passed to formal parameter. So any changes made to formal parameter are not reflected back in actual parameter. That happens because actual parameter and formal parameter both are at two different memory locations inside the computer. So any changes made at one memory location are not reflected back in another memory location. So that is what is call by value. But what happens in case of call by reference? The address of the memory location is being passed, and that is the reason any changes made through actual parameters or formal parameters are being done at the same memory location. So the changes are being reflected back. So I hope this example made it clear as to what is call by value and call by reference. So the changes are getting reflected back in case of call by reference, whereas the changes will not be reflected back in case of call by value. Java always supports call by value. Make a note, Java always supports call by value. Java will never give the address. So that is all about, like, this is a pictorial representation of how call by value and call by reference works. Let me show you one program of how Java would handle call by value and call by reference. Now this is one program wherein we are trying to send parameters through the function. So if you see, we would start reading from main. We have declared two variables p and q. So p is assigned a value 2 and q is assigned a value 4. Now I'm just printing the value of p and q. So we are going to get the value. Obviously it will be 2 here and it would be 4 here. After that, we are creating object of the class and we are calling the function. So when we are calling the function, the value of p gets stored in A and the value of q gets stored in B. Then we are saying A is equal to A plus 2. So p was already having 2 into it. So we are saying 2 plus 2, it would be 4 here. And B is holding 4 into it. So 4 plus 2, it is going to be 6 here. So when inside the function, when we are trying to print the value, it is going to print it like it will be printing 4 and 6. Now once the function is over, the body of the function is executed, the control comes back. So once the control comes back, we are trying to print the same value. We are trying to print the value of p and q again. Now always remember, p and q are your local variables. So when you are trying to print the value of p and q, it is printing 2 and 4. It is like no changes are being reflected in the value of p and q. That is because p and q are local variables and they are not going to cross the boundaries and go to the function change. This was call by value. Only value of P and Q went to the function and not their address. So any changes made in A and B are not reflected back in P and Q. Whereas if we would have worked with call by reference, अगर हमने वहाँ पे अगर हमने वहाँ पे टू ऐड किया था, तो वो चेंजेस आपको यहाँ पे रिफ्लेक्ट होते अगर हम कॉल बाय रेफरेंस में काम करते होते. बट जावा ओनली सपोर्ट्स कॉल बाय वैल्यू, सो वी आर नॉट वरिड. So this is how call by value works. I hope it makes the concept clear. See you in the next video for pure functions and impure functions.